Welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the world of AI, specifically a new startup called Thinking Machines Lab.
Yes.
Founded by Mira Murati, who you might know.
Oh, I know her.
She was the former CTO of OpenAI.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're already generating quite a buzz in the tech world, so we're going to be looking into what makes Thinking Machines Lab different, what are their goals, and
Ambitious goals.
yeah, ambitious goals, and what this could mean for the future of AI, right?
Right.
Our sources today are news articles, tech blogs, even some research papers, trying to get a well-rounded view of this new company.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see someone like Murati, who was really instrumental in developing ChatGPT and Delhi at OpenAI.
Huge products.
Huge products, right?
Uh,
To leave and start something new.
yeah, that's a bold move for sure.
It is. So let's maybe unpack her background a little bit and what led her to create Thinking Machines Lab.
I mean, her experience at OpenAI gives her a really deep understanding of this field. That's obvious. But what's interesting is that it seems like Thinking Machines Lab is built on some pretty different philosophical foundations compared to OpenAI.
Yeah, that's what I'm really curious about. What are those key differences? Where do they diverge from OpenAI's approach?
Well, one of the biggest contrasts is their focus on, get this, human-machine collaboration.
Okay.
So while OpenAI, they've been pursuing these more autonomous AI systems, Thinking Machines Lab wants to create tools that empower users.
Right.
They want them to adapt to our needs.
So instead of AI replacing humans, they're focusing on AI augmenting humans.
It's a shift, it's a partnership.
Interesting.
And that sort of collaborative approach actually ties into another key difference, which is transparency.
Okay.
OpenAI, they've been pretty closed off about their research and code, but Thinking Machines Lab are all about open source.
Interesting.
They're planning to publish their research, share their code. They really want to foster this, like, what they call a science open environment.
That is a huge difference.
Yeah.
And, that could have massive implications for researchers and companies trying to use AI in their work.
Absolutely. I mean, just imagine having access to how these advanced systems actually work.
Yeah.
Researchers could analyze them, adapt them, and it could lead to faster innovation, way more diverse applications.
So it's about democratizing AI, making it more accessible.
Exactly. It's not this black box anymore. It's
Yeah.
something we can understand and work with.
And another big area where they're making a statement is multimodality. Can you break that down for us? Why is that significant?
Multimodality basically means that AI systems can work with all sorts of different data, text, audio, video, you name it.
So not just one type of data, they can handle it all.
Exactly. Most AI systems now are good at one thing but struggle with the integration part.
Right.
Thinking Machines Lab wants to build systems that can handle everything seamlessly.
So instead of having separate systems for text, images, we could have one that does it all.
That's the vision. I mean, think about systems that understand not just your words, but your tone of voice, your facial expressions even.
That's wild.
It could revolutionize everything from healthcare to entertainment.
It's like they're trying to make AI more human in a way.
That's a good way to put it, and this ties into their goal of expanding AI's capabilities beyond the usual things like math and programming.
So it's not just about crunching numbers anymore.
Nope, they want AI that can tap into creativity, intuition, even empathy.
Wow.
Ambitious, right?
Yeah, they're not setting the bar low to achieve all this. They need a pretty amazing team though, right?
Oh, they've got a powerhouse team for sure.
Who are the key players?
Well, funny enough, even though their philosophy is different from OpenAI, they've actually brought in some big names from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John Schulman, he co-founded OpenAI. He's their chief scientist now.
Okay.
And they've also got Barrett. He was a VP and a distinguished researcher at OpenAI. He's their CTO.
So they pulled in some of the best from OpenAI.
Exactly, which suggests that maybe even some of the people at OpenAI were drawn to this new approach.
That's fascinating. So they've got the team. But what about their specific goals? Do we know what their roadmap looks like for the next few years?
Well, they've laid out some pretty ambitious goals. Like they want to develop even more advanced AI systems.
Of course.
Systems that can handle complex tasks across different fields. They also want to contribute to scientific discoveries, push the boundaries of engineering,
Wow.
and ultimately make AI truly useful and accessible for everyone.
Accessible for everyone, that's a big statement. How do they plan to make their AI more accessible than what's already out there from companies like Google or Microsoft?
Well, one thing that really stood out to me from the articles was this idea that they want to empower individuals to actually adapt AI systems to their own specific needs.
Okay.
They think we should be able to fine-tune these powerful AI models to fit our own values, our own goals, our own ways of working.
It's not just about using AI, it's about shaping it to fit you.
Exactly. It's personalized AI.
Wow, this is a company to watch, for sure.
Definitely.
They're really challenging how we think about AI and how we use it.
Big time.
But we should probably step back for a second and think about the practical implications here.
Yeah, good point.
Why should the average person care about what a company like Thinking Machines Lab is doing? How could this impact our lives, our jobs, our future?
It's a big question, and it's easy to get lost in the hype, right? But it's important to understand how this could affect us day to day. It is easy to get lost in the hype, but we really have to look at how this could affect us day to day.
Yeah, we got to cut through all that noise and really understand what this means for people who might be skeptical too about all these promises about AI.
Totally. And, if Thinking Machines Lab actually delivers on these promises, we might see a future where AI is less of a mystery.
Yeah.
It could be less of a thing that only a select few people control. It could be something we all understand and can use.
It's not just the technology, it's about who controls it and who benefits.
Right. Exactly. That's what makes Thinking Machines Lab so interesting. They're challenging that status quo, you know? They want a more open, collaborative, and human-centered approach, and they want to empower individuals.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a vision worth exploring further.
Absolutely. So let's dive even deeper into what this could mean practically. Like, how could their approach to AI actually impact how we use technology every day?
Okay, so remember that concept of personalized AI we were talking about?
Yeah.
Let's unpack that a bit.
Okay.
Imagine AI systems that are tailored to, your unique learning style, maybe your financial goals, even your values. Think of an AI tutor that actually adapts to how you learn best, or a financial advisor that makes recommendations based on your risk tolerance.
So it's about moving beyond those one-size-fits-all AI tools that we see everywhere now.
Right, it's about customization.
And this could be applied to healthcare too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine AI that looks at your genetic data, your lifestyle, your medical history, and creates a treatment plan just for you.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It is, but of course there are potential downsides too.
Right. What about privacy? This level of personalization needs access to a ton of personal data.
Very true, and that's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Even though Thinking Machines Lab is emphasizing ethical considerations and security, finding that balance between personalization and privacy is going to be really important.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a challenge they'll have to figure out as their technology develops.
And are there any other ethical concerns that we should be thinking about here?
Oh, for sure. Bias in AI is a huge concern. If these systems are trained on biased data, they can actually make those biases even worse.
That's a big problem.
So to address this, we have to be really careful about the data sources and the algorithms.
Yeah.
We need to ensure fairness and inclusivity right from the start.
So it's not enough to just build sophisticated AI. It has to be ethical too.
Exactly. And that's where Thinking Machines Lab's approach really stands out. Their commitment to transparency and open source principles is key here.
Okay, how so?
Well, by making their research and code public, they're inviting everyone to look at it, to collaborate. And that can help us identify and fix potential biases or ethical issues.
So they're not trying to do this alone. They're bringing in the community.
That's right. They're saying, hey, we need everyone's help to build responsible AI.
I like that approach a lot. Now, let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
How does Thinking Machines Lab fit into the current AI landscape? Are they truly disrupting things, or are there other companies out there with similar goals?
Well, they're definitely positioning themselves as an alternative to those big, closed, commercially driven companies like, OpenAI and Google.
Right.
But they're not the only ones pushing for a more ethical and human-centered AI. There's a growing movement in the AI community.
Yeah, I've been noticing that too.
People are demanding responsible AI development.
So Thinking Machines Lab is part of a larger trend, a shift in how we view and develop AI.
Absolutely. They're a big player in this movement. And there are other organizations too, like the Partnership on AI.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. What are they all about?
They're a nonprofit, a coalition of a bunch of tech giants, actually, working together to figure out ethical guidelines and best practices.
That's interesting. Some of the biggest tech companies are involved in this.
Yeah, even OpenAI is part of it.
So they're recognizing that ethical considerations are crucial,
Yeah,
even while they're pushing the boundaries of AI.
for sure. The Partnership on AI is doing a lot of work. They're developing best practices for development, researching the societal impact of AI,
Okay.
and they're doing a lot of public education and outreach.
So it's not just about building ethical AI, it's about educating everyone about it.
Exactly. And on top of that, there are tons of startups out there that are specifically focused on building ethical AI tools and platforms.
Like who?
Well, there's this company called Credo AI. They're developing platforms to help companies assess and govern their AI systems
Okay.
to make sure they're aligned with ethical principles and regulations.
So there's a whole ecosystem emerging around responsible AI.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see. It's not just in Silicon Valley either.
Right.
Nope, this is global. The European Union is actually leading the way.
Interesting.
They're developing ethical guidelines and regulations. Their proposed framework is all about human oversight, transparency, and non-discrimination.
So it's a worldwide conversation.
It is. Countries like Canada and Japan are also developing their own ethical frameworks.
It's great to see that global collaboration, and feels like we're moving towards a future where AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah, it really does feel like things are moving in the right direction, and a lot of people are getting on board with this idea of responsible AI.
Definitely, it's becoming a priority.
So we've talked about the Partnership on AI, we've mentioned Credo AI. Are there any other notable players in this space pushing for a more ethical approach?
Oh yeah, there are tons, but one company that comes to mind is Hugging Face.
Hugging Face. Okay, I've heard of them. What are they doing?
They've built this platform for sharing and collaborating on open source AI models.
Which really fits with everything Thinking Machines Lab is talking about. The transparency, accessibility.
So they're basically creating a space where developers and researchers can openly share their work, build upon each other's work. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about collaboration.
So open source is becoming a really important part of AI, especially for building trust and ensuring responsible development.
It's huge. It means we're moving away from this model where just a handful of big companies control everything.
And that's a good thing.
Definitely. With open source, we can all have a say in shaping the future of AI.
Makes sense, but it's hard not to wonder, can companies like Thinking Machines Lab really challenge the big guys?
It's a David and Goliath situation for sure, right?
Yeah, they're up against Google, Microsoft, companies with massive resources.
It's a tough battle.
So what do you think their chances are? What factors might determine their success?
Well, first off, they've got to attract and keep the best talent, which is really hard in this field.
Yeah.
Second, they need to develop products and services that really stand out, that offer something different from what's already out there.
Okay.
And maybe most importantly, they need to communicate their vision and values really effectively.
So it's about building a community, building trust.
Yeah, they need to show that this ethical, human-centered approach isn't just some nice idea. It can actually work. It can lead to a better future.
It's a big task.
It is. And, their success also depends on what happens in the wider AI industry and how society's expectations evolve.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Well, people are becoming a lot more aware of issues like AI bias, data privacy, the potential for misuse.
Right.
And that's creating this demand for more transparent and ethical AI.
And that could work in Thinking Machines Lab's favor.
It could definitely give them a boost.
It feels like we're at a turning point with AI. The choices we make now are going to have huge implications for the future.
Absolutely. It's so important to be having these conversations to understand the complexities of AI and to really push for responsible development.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into Thinking Machines Lab and the future of AI.
It's been a pleasure.
They're definitely a company to watch. Their vision and approach raise some really important questions about where AI is headed.
And their success or failure could have a big impact on us all.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on the podcast of Philippe, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube so we can hit that 1,000 subscriber goal. We'll be back with more deep dives into the world of tech soon.